Hello and welcome, dear Kindred, to Manapot Studios' newest Vampire the Masquerade stream, A Study in Ivory, in which we. Woo!
Woo!
White Lotus sound.
Oh, you wanted a Xena battle warrior cry? What?
I'm Krifu Bernal, Chris Bernal in real life, aka Krifu, and I will be the storyteller and host for this chronicle in which we examine what it is to live under the dominant thumb of the Camarilla, aka the Ivory Tower. The name, if you want the name to make some sort of sense. Let's go ahead and meet our cast, and we're going to establish the order of introductions today, as we like to do on our streams here at Manapod. Starting with Marcus.
Hello and howdy, everybody. I'm Marcus, also known online as the Chindividual, and in this game, I'm playing Maxime Toussaint, the Tremor member of this coterie. And I'm really looking forward to see what our coterie will be up to in these coming sessions.
Let's go on up to Anya.
Hi, it's me. Hi, I'm Anya, known on the internet as Lalion Cosplay. You can find me literally everywhere as Lalion Cosplay. Tonight, time zones, I will be playing Adelaide Villeneuve. She is a fashion designer for the rich and famous, and recently got together with Meg.
They dating.
They dating.
Let's go on over to Henrik.
Hi, I'm Henrik, also known as Der Weltenweber, also known as Weaver of Worlds, and tonight I will be playing Rainier, a member of the Ministry, who is a very swell guy. You can trust him, especially with your money. Don't worry about it.
Don't worry about it.
Forget about it.
And of course, it wouldn't be a Manapot stream without Inez.
Of course it wouldn't be a stream without me. I mean, look at me. I'm sorry. Hi, my name is Inez. I use she, her pronouns. And tonight I will be playing Megara Monet, who is the gang girl, the resident gang girl, and lovebird to Adelaide Villeneuve. She also uses she, her pronouns, and I'm so excited to be back.
If you were unaware, this stream originally started as an EU happy hour flight last year, but we were so struck with the story that we had built up over those 3 sessions, we decided to turn it into a full-fledged actual play. So please be welcome to join us every other Saturday for at least the next few months, if not longer, in which we continue the story of our vampires in Nice. Some things happened during our flight, but you'll have to check out the YouTube to see all of that stuff. And in the meantime, we are going to pick up 3 months later, November 2022, in Nice. So before we do that, Marcus, please take us to the movies.
To the movies!
Yeah.
Wow, we went to the movies and we're back.
Dun dun dun. Short movie theater.
Beautiful.
Crazy how that works.
It is deep autumn on the French Riviera, the Azure Coast, Le Côte d'Azur. But it's the Mediterranean, so you don't see leaves turning, any of that fall foliage. Instead, the wind is blowing, the palm trees are swaying, the sun is shining, it's just mostly a little cool. The tourists, however, are lacking, summer vacation being long over at this point. And things have quieted down in the city of Nice. And then the sun sets. And the streets become a little emptier, a little colder, a little darker. For it is vampire season. The part of the year in which the longest nights occur, in which our vampires can almost feel like they're living normal lives. Adelaide, where do you conduct your business?
So her studio is the loft. That is where the so much expensive fabric is just wall to wall in her studio, in a separate room from the main area with the piano. And she does also have not really a storefront because her outfits are a little bit too expensive to have a storefront.
Sure.
But she would, I'd say, be off the beaten path, but in a nicer area.
So, and her atelier.
Exactement.
Okay, not in the gold square.
I haven't actually been to
Carré
Nice before, so I don't know the
I'm just
different
trying to
areas of
think.
Nice.
I've been once for one long weekend, so
Hmm.
but that's why we have Google Maps. So we know that the apartment building, the condominium in which you all live, is located in sort of central downtown, near downtown Nice, in the Carré d'Or. If I'm saying
Carré d'Or.
Carré d'Or, thank you. But we would probably be a little not there exactly, maybe a little further north in Gambetta or Tears.
Sure.
Yeah, why not? But walking distance, easy walking distance from the apartment.
Especially for a vampire
Yes.
in her 6-inch heels.
And there is a small flight of steps that go up in a well-lit alleyway, and a very discreet sign, Villeneuve Atelier, if that's what we want to call it.
Absolutely.
You're not the only atelier in this part of town. Lots of studios are rented out here. But the lights, you're one of the few that have the lights still on this late at night. The sun's probably setting around 5:30, 5 o'clock at this point. So you've been awake for, let's say, 2 hours. We're going to put us at 8 o'clock p.m. Your
Okay.
meeting. Well, first off, as we go in through the window on the first floor of this atelier into your studio, what do we see and what do you look like?
First of all, is that American first floor or German first
It's
floor?
European first floor.
So the ground floor.
No, up one.
Up one? Okay. So just needed to clarify because
Yes.
anyway, yes, so you see a very striking woman with very long curling brown hair that reaches to about her waist. Normally, at the moment, it is all tied up, out of the way, and a complete mess. This is one of her busiest seasons, and she just has to get everything perfectly done. And she still looks like perfection, but she is hyper focused and she is hunched over a sewing machine, like perfectly done up nails, lots of chunky jewelry on her fingers, and just steadily making a very ornate costume.
Okay. Working on a laptop nearby is your personal assistant,
Mhm.
Alex. Are they French?
Yes, they are.
Okay. How long have they been working for you?
A couple of years. Long enough that they have had a chance to get to know Adelaide at the surface level. They don't know her per se, but they certainly know who she is.
I know well enough to know that she doesn't come out during the day.
Mm-hmm.
So, as we're working in sort of a comfortable silence, as one has with colleagues, what does Alex look like?
I did not give this enough thought. I am going to pull up a photo.
Of a non-binary French person.
Yes. Oh goodness, I just typed punk French 2023 and that is not it.
Too punk? Not punk enough?
Way too punk. Okay, so they are wearing relatively nondescript black on black clothing, and they have the biggest red glasses that you can imagine. Not quite clear if they're actually necessary or not, if they're prescription or not, but they're very, very large, chunky glasses. They have gauges and multiple piercings in their ears, and they have their hair styled in a semi-mohawk that is a bright turquoise and just fading at the edges.
Okay, cool. They all at once sort of gasp and like look up and like look over to you. You should check your email. We've just received something from the offices of Alphonse Noyer.
What does the old man want this time?
The studio. The atelier.
Why am I not surprised? She pulls out this older iPhone. She does not have the most up-to-date iPhone. She just taps through.
Are you using a stylus or are you using your finger?
I would say that she's using a stylus and also very, very long fingernails.
Okay.
Very.
Perfect. You open
I
up
was
the
about to
email.
make a joke and I'm not doing it.
Maybe
I knew
later,
exactly
Lisa.
what joke you were making, and it's fine. It's a good one.
Anyway.
You open up the email. There's a lot of legal gibberish.
Mhm.
Are you trained in law in any way?
Hilarious. No.
No.
Why
that's-
on earth would she be trained in law?
So as you're looking at it, you don't even have any academics. You've a little bit of finance. Go ahead and roll
Okay.
finance for me, please.
That is the one thing I did not grab. Okay, finance.
Dice. Me neither.
Yeah. So
Nope, I'm
is it just
rolling online
straight
today.
finance?
Finance and intelligence, please, as
Okay,
you're
so
trying to
3.
decipher this stuff.
Rolling. By the way, rolling in Roll20 with vampire sheets is very convenient and very good. So I recommend that
Okay.
you can roll digitally.
I think they
Okay.
also fixed a bug recently where it sometimes showed that you have a bestial failure when you actually
Right.
didn't.
Oh, okay. Well,
Yes.
I'll do that
Yeah.
instead. I was just gonna type roll 3d10 into Google, but okay. So do I click on the dice?
Exactly.
See
Yeah.
that?
Yeah, you
Exactamo.
click finance and then you click
Intelligence.
the attribute. Yes.
Okay. Submit. Oop. No extra dice. It's asking me for difficulty. I feel like I'm being
Difficulty 6,
Adelaide right now.
which it should always
It's at a 2 to start.
Yes, it's always set to 2. And I
number
always
of successes. Yep.
yes. And I
Sorry,
always disregard that. I don't even ask for the difficulty. I just roll it and then the game master can.
Perfect.
Okay.
2 successes, but 1, which does not cancel out because we're not playing Old World
Okay,
of Darkness.
Exactly.
Got it.
Okay.
All the
Exactly.
additions. Okay, 2 successes.
Okay.
You've seen enough financial legalese to understand that they are proposing an offer to buy your business. Alphonse Noyer is a powerful enemy of yours. On the surface, maybe just a rival, but he has enough money to, buy out your business, and is literally trying to do that.
Mm-hmm. Well, this is absolute nonsense. He's not going to buy my business.
This starting off, Alex says, and like they kind of walk over, a little like stompy. Maybe they're wearing boots.
Oh, totally. Like massive combat boots, but ones that are like this tall.
Which probably only brings them up to your shoulder anyway because they're so short.
Honestly. And Adelaide is absolutely always wearing her 5 to 6 inch heels. Any shorter than that, who on earth would wear those?
So Alex kind of leans over the desk and like shows like, points at where you're looking on your phone,
Mm-hmm.
and says, "But this is starting off. I mean, it's not insulting." They kind of like raise their eyebrows.
That may be the case, but I can make that much off of Renier.
Your weird neighbor, huh?
Yes.
He's not. Is he? I don't want to know. Never
You
mind.
genuinely do not want to know.
But
Meanwhile, Rainier is sitting in where he's living and is just like, why do I get the feeling that I need to talk to Adelaide?
But it's your business. I merely work here, but this, I mean, you could always start again and with even more money, or go to a bigger fashion house. Adelaide is something to consider.
I have no interest in bigger fashion houses. They'll squash my ideas.
Well, I guess you have all the time in the world to work on your career. And they kind of just walk back over to the laptop, sit down, do a couple clicks, and then shut the laptop and put it in their messenger bag. Well, that's it. That's it for me today. Is there anything else you need?
So I'm really curious. Is there a reason why Alex wants me to consider this offer, or are they just genuinely like, this is a lot of money. Why aren't you doing this?
Roll for insight and wits.
Okay.
Lots of dice on that one.
Yep.
Mhm.
Insight and wits. And I'm going to ignore the difficulty, like Inez said.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Oh,
Well, then.
Only 3 successes.
Yes.
Okay. You think about it, and you know that Alex has been having money issues. You pay them well enough, but more and more it seems like Alex is sort of skipping lunch. You've noted that they haven't bought new outfits in a while, whereas they used to sort of regularly, like show up with new outfits every week. They participated a lot in closet exchanges, and like live by this rule of you can only wear an outfit 5 different times before it needs to go away. Very much not. I mean, it's not fast fashion because they like well-made stuff,
Yeah.
but it's definitely not upcycling in any way, shape, or form. So there is as you're kind of looking at them, you get the sense that they are very interested in this large sum of money, but for what reasons, what specific reasons, you're not sure.
Alex,
Oui, madame.
is everything okay?
Yes, of course. I mean, it's dark all the time, and it's getting colder, but I can't complain. They sort of give you a soft smile.
You'd tell me if you had many problems, wouldn't you?
I think we are due in a few months to talk about my review and the potential promotion. But yes, sure, I'd tell you.
We could do it right now.
Sorry, I have plans this evening.
Tomorrow, then.
Tomorrow is achievable.
Okay. I want you to be happy working for me.
Of course, I like I said, I don't have any complaints. And there, you note it. You note
Mm-hmm.
they may not have complaints, but do they have things they're proud of?
Mm-hmm.
Things they're happy with? It's one thing not to be sad. It's another thing not to be happy.
Mm-hmm.
And with that, they turn and grab a leather jacket off of the very avant-garde coat rack, nod, and hop outside on their Vespa and drive away.
That's a species. That's weird.
Interesting. I'm going to have to ask around. She jots a little note with her pen on her phone.
Ask around for what?
What exactly is going on? She doesn't know very many of Alex's friends per se, but that's not a difficult thing to find. She knows the areas that Alex frequents, so she could find out what's happening. If she can't do it, then certainly probably René can.
Okay. Is there anything you want to do right now?
Not right now. It's there, it exists, and she's like, okay, noted. I'm going to take care of this because Alex needs to stay on my side. And then gets back to sewing.
Okay. We'll be waiting. There is a deadline on this offer. This offer is a strong word. It is an introduction to the concept with an idea of money. It's the way the super rich talk about such financial matters is very vague terms.
Yeah, what an interesting way to say that. It's an
Yeah.
introduction of something with money. Yeah.
With a
old
concept
question
of a
mark.
monetary value there.
There you go.
Yes.
Okay. All right. So we leave Adelaide working on this costume.
A very ornate, very warm, well, not terribly warm. Nice doesn't necessarily get freezing cold in the winter, but very ornate and fancy and very expensive.
What did we
costume.
say the weather was like right now? 60s, or rather, in Celsius, 11 to 16 degrees.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Which
Yeah,
is
so
not
it's
very warm, let's say that.
It's not super cold.
No, it's not very cold, that's
No.
for sure, but it's not.
But as the sun's going down, we're gonna put us at some clouds move in, and we're gonna put us at a drizzly 12 today. There's a cool front that has
Okay.
moved in. And we start to hear the drizzle of a light pitter pattering rain as the camera moves out and across Nice and to the harbor, where the boats seem to be sitting for quite a long time. The yacht belonging to Prince Corentin of Nice has not left its mooring in several months, but still sees regular, frequent guests, as Corentin likes to throw her parties every weekend. Sometimes they're intimate gatherings, and sometimes they're massive blowout bashes. Tonight lies somewhere in between. Prince Corentin has their salon on the main deck. Sort of not the oh god, what are decks?
Uh-huh.
There's a top
Yeah.
deck, a second deck, and then the main deck, which will be we'll call ground floor. So ground first, second. They have their salon on the first floor of this yacht. Indoors, large sofas and sort of chairs and chaise and all sorts of things for people to lounge and sit upon as champagne is being passed around. There are a few different groups of people in this room. humans and kindred. The masquerade is in full effect. And we can see as we sort of zoom around the boat that on the very top there is a small group of humans, people, but humans most likely, in a hot tub despite the cold, rainy weather. They might be drunk. Indoors in the salon, we see Prince Corentin. Let's switch up the music a little bit.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Does this work? This works. I
Yeah.
found a new album today that I've been playing
Yeah.
with. It's
Oh my
quiet.
goodness, Rocket.
There's an occasional peal of laughter, but people are speaking in hushed tones. It's one of those parties where people come just to make sure they've been seen and just to see who's there. And these nights, not many famous, powerful people are there. Winter in Nice is the time for hibernation. Winter in general is the time for that. But in Nice particularly, people pull back. They reassess their situations. And we see that happening here. Prince Corentin sits in the middle of a group of humans. They have dark black skin, a bald head, a slender frame, very large hoop gold earrings today. And I think they're wearing pink. I see pink.
Ooh,
A
love it.
fuzzy pink sweater, cashmere. As well as like these pink slacks into these just black leather boots. Sort of sitting here laughing as a few different humans are telling jokes or conversations, gossip perhaps. In this room, however, we also have some other kindred. Maxime, where are you and what are you doing? And what do you look like?
While Corentin is in the middle of whatever group of people are invited here, Maxime is sitting at the edge of this social gathering. He is a stark contrast to Corentin's amazing fashion sense. He is wearing the same kind of black turtleneck he's almost always wearing, with this weather also a shawl around his neck. A glass of wine is held in between his hands, more for show than for actual drinking. His hair is at chin length, but very messy kept. Like, he combed it probably earlier in the evening, but it never really keeps in the way that he would like to have it. And he's not like, his gaze is going around the room, checking out everyone, quickly glancing at people, and just taking in the situation. Would I know who these other people are here in the room? Would I know who Corentin has invited?
You recognize her groupies. Let's say her herd, as it were.
Right.
Part of the main reason these parties can even happen is because the herd shows up looking for a good time and free champagne and a kiss or two.
Right. So for Corentin, this is eating time in a way.
I would roll, Maxine, please roll politics and wits.
Politics and wits. Submit. I don't get any extra dice. That is one success.
Oof. Corentin has elevated you to the position of sheriff in Nice, but has done nothing else in the meantime to help you get your grips on what the role requires. At the same time, they have not issued any responsibilities or deeds or, I don't know, decrees to you as to what you should be doing as sheriff, nor have they forbid you from participating in anything that they, run or involve. All the Kindred of Nice have an open invitation to Corentin's parties and are expected to arrive when she calls for a court.
Right.
So it has been difficult to understand. You've been studying Corentin for 3 months and what she's been up to, and it's a little difficult.
I would say that even though Corentin has not been instructing Maxime in any way, there's not like any kind of formal expectations. Maxime would be the kind of person who has expectations towards himself. So in the past 3 months, he would have been trying to just do his job properly and hand in reports or reach out to Corentin to like have any kind of formal communication about his role as sheriff. And quite honestly, it would be kind of agitating to Maxime that there's no kind of formal response to that. So in this very scene, Maxime is also, he came here with the intention of having a conversation to the prince about the status of the domain, but found them now here with their herd and is kind of sidelined by that. So he's just waiting for a moment to have a conversation with Corentin, but there's a little sense of frustration building in him.
Can we see that on his face?
Frowned eyebrows. There's like
Furrowed.
like really deep furrow, but like he's trying to. Maxime is notoriously bad at making and keeping eye contact, but he's trying to kind of catch the attention of Corentin, but apparently to no avail.
Okay. There are other kindred in this room. Rainier, where are you? What are you doing? And what do you look like?
Well, Rainier is definitely being the life of the party, at least according to himself, you know, being with the mortals and the kindreds alike, on the dance floor, talking to them, offering whatever they want to have, dancing. He loves dancing. Rainier is easily noticeable because he has very bright red hair, which he keeps tied into a ponytail, although it is extremely frizzy. He would honestly, he could stand to lose a few pounds. He's not fat, but a little bit chubby. Wears sunglasses, even indoors. Has a bright, booming smile. Otherwise, he's dressed a bit hipsterish, but of very, very high quality.
Okay. And I'm sorry, what are you doing once more? You're talking to people, giving them things.
Exactly, you know, like, hey, come on, it's a party. You want anything? Can I get you something? The usual stuff. People know to talk to him if they, you know, are getting a little tired and could use a little pick-me-up, so to speak.
A bump,
Or
as it
just to talk to him. You know, he has a way of listening that makes you feel very, very clever and interesting, so people love talking to him.
You're near the aft of the salon, where these sort of glass sliding doors open up onto a deck that goes up and down from the outside as well. There are some people out there, maybe smoking, when the door opens and a young human man enters in. Rainier, what does Jean look like? Your contact.
Honestly, he would probably not fit much into this party because he looks a little scruffy, let's say, but he has a way of fitting in. He's very, very thin. So between Rainier and him, you have one person that, you know, is of average weight. Has a beard that doesn't look like it's been cultivated, but more like he didn't find the time to shave recently. Hair's a little bit longer, and in German we call it Straßenköterblond, so a bit blonde but very dirty. Usually wears hoodies and the like.
Got it.
Maybe he's put on some finer clothes today.
Does that translate to urban blonde?
Yeah, probably.
Okay. Gene comes in. He's he's probably got like a big hoodie on, that he was like keeping from the rain. You can tell he's a little wet, as it has started raining. And he sees you and stops for a moment. Is Jean? I'm gonna have to ask this with every NPC. Is Jean French?
Yeah, I'd say.
Eugene. All right, Eugene or Jean. Am I
Jean.
Jean? No,
Jean.
Jean would be Jean.
Jean
Oh.
can be French female, absolutely. I mean,
Yeah,
we saw that from
Jeanne.
Bayonetta.
Jean.
Yeah, I
Eugene.
had a host sister named Jeanne.
But this
Or
is short for
Bayonetta's Jean.
Jean. Gene.
Mhm.
Okay.
Oh yeah, that's true. Jean.
We're gonna stick with
Maybe
that.
would
it's
be Jean.
his pet
Jean.
name or
He's,
something.
he's Americanized his name.
Or that.
Yes.
Some people do. Anyway, he comes over to you and he says, Rainier, can we speak for a moment?
Sure thing, my man. Rainier gives him a booming smile. He would wink at him, but you know you can't see that through the sunglasses. Come on, you want anything or do you just want to talk?
That's what I want to talk about. Please.
All right, lead the way.
This has all gone unnoticed to the prince, he has been sort of enraptured by his herd and has not noticed. The door opens, people come in, people go out.
It
Maxime,
happens.
are you noticing this?
I mean, I've been paying attention to the entire situation, and I would notice Rainier was just all over the place, and this is what Rainier does. But
Exactly.
when Rainier specifically goes over to this one person, Maxime would kind of clock it and keep an eye on that because Corentin is apparently busy with other things. So let's see if I can do my sheriffly duties and keep an eye on what Rainier is doing.
Jean has been here before,
Hmm.
but I would say in the last 6 to 8 weeks, you've noticed that he's not coming around anymore. Why? You don't know. Well, we're about to find out. Jean leads Rainier up to the top deck and away from the hot tub party and sort of lights up a smoke, and he turns to you. Can I just ask, what the fuck are you doing here?
Having a good time, doing what I do best. Why you ask?
I clearly have seen you are doing business here, oder? That's German.
Of course, these
It
people
happens.
need their fix as much as anyone else, and they only pay twice the price.
Yes, but I was working this territory.
Come on, Jean, don't be like that.
I mean, I'm all summer long. I'm getting regular invites from His Royal Highness Corentin, and it says ironically, you don't think he actually knows that Corentin's a prince. I've been getting invites to the parties, and all of a sudden, October comes after Halloween. I gave out all the Molly I had, and then nothing.
Rainier raises an eyebrow. That's why you haven't been around much, eh, pal?
Oh, I'm not getting invites. And I come here tonight, and I heard there was a party, and I see you are working my turf.
Understandable. Tell you what, he puts one hand on his shoulder. I'll ask Corentin, all right? I don't want to ruin your turf, okay?
Can you roll? I'm assuming this is persuasion, not deception.
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay. Let's do persuasion and charisma.
All right. There we are. That's 4 successes, methinks.
4. Oh, yeah. You don't have to do that. I mean,
He raises an hand. Come on, we are pals. I cherish you as a working partner, so that's the least I can do.
listen. I mean, we can work something out. We can take we can do shift schedules, whatever.
Tell you what, I'll ask them. If they say yes, it's all fine and peachy. We do rotating shifts or whatever. If they say no, I'ma buy some stuff off you. I mean, let's be honest here. These people who supply me, those supplies won't run forever. And honestly, I'd rather know who I'm buying from. Okay.
Yeah, I was wondering, where have you been getting your supply lately? Of course, I still see you, but I had no idea you were coming to the ship.
I have my ways. Let's put it like that. You wouldn't want to know, honestly. He actually does, pull down his sunglasses for a small moment, gives him a wink, then quickly pulls them back on because the light hurts his eyes. You don't want to know.
I would, at this point, Maxime would have slowly would have come walking over.
Okay, you head
still-
outside and upstairs.
Yeah, to get quickly come up, and Rainier would hear from behind him. Rainier.
Oh. Maxie, there you are.
This is a face that I haven't seen in a while here.
Sure is. He looks between Jean and Maxime, trying to read the mood between the two of them.
Jean seems in a much better mood than he was when he first walked in. He even cracks a smile, sort of ashes his cigarette in a nearby ashtray, looks around to see if there's any drinks handy, and sort of nods to you, Maxine.
I hope I was not interrupting any important business conversations.
Nah, not really. Just the usual stuff. But I just found out that Jean doesn't get invited much anymore. And since you have got such a good deal with Corentin, I was gonna ask if you could ask them why that is. I mean, Jean's a friend of mine. I love to have him around,
You have many friends, Rainier.
That's true, but Jean's
Or
one
at
of my
least-
best friends.
Oh, he's made it to that list. Jean, I will see if I can find out why you are not so often invited anymore. Though it will come on my list of other things I have to discuss. Why don't you enjoy yourself here while you're here?
I can't stay long, but yeah. I'll grab a drink. He smiles,
Please.
heads back downstairs.
I wait until Jean is gone, and then I say to Rainier, he's one of yours, isn't he?
He is. Keeps my heart supplied. Keeps me supplied. It's better to be on his good side. You wouldn't know by looking at him, but the things he can find out.
I understand, but I haven't seen him here in a while. What do you know about that?
Do I know anything about that?
Do you? Let's go ahead and roll. Renier,
Don't forget to take a sip of water.
ooh, we gotta hydrate. Thank you,
Not water,
Lalion.
but meat.
Go ahead and roll politics and wits.
Let's see then. 2 successes.
Okay. As you stated, Gene does not necessarily look like he fits in here. You had seen Gene here over the summer at random courts that you came to. But it starts to sort of click. Yeah, if you're here dealing and you look a lot nicer and you play the part of a rich person a lot better than Gene, Corentin's not really gonna keep him around.
That's true. Sad but true. I mean, I'm just talking out of my ass here, but I mean, look at the guy. I like him and all, but he sticks out like a sore thumb around here, don't he?
It shouldn't matter what he looks like. If he is useful to us, if he's useful to the domain, we should try to keep him around.
You tell that to Corentin. I mean, They are the kind of person to look out for that, and I can't blame them.
I would love to tell many things to Corentin, but
You and me both, brother.
it is just, in these past months, I've been given the duty of sheriff. I've been doing my best to keep our domain safe. And they don't even seem to properly bother with any kind of job expectations. It's almost, and Maxime leans like on any kind of railing that's there on the deck, and he leans forward and he says, did they forget that just 3 months ago, we had someone come from a different domain to us and try to drive a wedge in here?
Tell me about it. Rainier actually leans against the railing as well and looks up into the sky, almost lost in thought, it seems. Sometimes I think they don't really know what being a prince entails, and that's coming from me.
We're speaking dangerous words here, Rainier.
I know, but I know you think the same.
Especially considering the location we're at. I'm gonna give it one more go to see if I can reach out to Corentin.
Please do.
Keep an eye on Jean.
Will do. Don't worry, I'll keep him busy.
And I'll go back down from the deck and try to see if Corentin is still busy.
Okay. The mood hasn't shifted at all, but you can tell that people have changed places as you come back downstairs. Rainier, what are you doing while Maxime goes back down?
Rainier will actually give some of his special stuff to Jean, as a sign of goodwill. Come on, get around, sell something, it's on me. And he will try to not exactly follow him through the crowd, but keep an eye on him, what he's doing. So, not as in I'm following him, but he happens to be around where he is a lot more.
Okay. Maxime, there are two people talking to Corentin now. One you don't recognize, someone new. Corentin sort of looking at them occasionally, but they're listening more to a young woman who we saw a few months ago, who had come to her first party on the yacht. A young woman named Rebecca. If I remember correctly, I feel like she had like dirty blonde curly hair, but like curls. Like she actually like puts them in curlers, like the ringlets that come down. Wearing like a sort of black velvet dress with tights underneath because of the cool. And yes, they're talking when you walk up towards the prince, and Corentin looks up, catches your eye, and turns to the others. Excuse me, but I see someone who I need to speak to. And they nod and stand up, leaving the two there and approaching you.
Is there any kind of like more private alcove or side room that I could go to with Corentin? Anything?
The dining room is right on the other side of like this. There's a wall here in the salon that separates that from the dining room indoor. This also goes outside to what can be an outdoor dining room, but with the weather, it's not set up at the moment.
Oh wow, love this place.
I love yachts. As bad as they are for the environment.
I lead Corentin as much as I'm allowed to lead the prince of the domain into the other room, close the door, and I say, and it just, if I would have to inhale, I would inhale, but I'm a vampire, I don't have to. I say, October 12th, there was a report of strange accident further in the north of the city. I handed in a written report to your office, but I have not heard back from you. I followed up on that on October 19th with a written request, tried to engage on October 22nd during one of the parties that you hosted, and this pattern did continue. Am I not excelling as you would have expected in my role of sheriff?
I've received your reports. You're successful. They sort of purse their lips and shake their head and shrug their shoulders.
Successful.
You seem to be acting appropriately. Or do you feel otherwise?
Forgive me, but from what I've been learning under my sire, I was under the expectation that an office like that of sheriff would require more delegation from your offices, more cooperation between our stations.
I have delegated, and you are doing what needs to be done. I've seen the reports.
I see. And Maxime is honestly a little bit taken aback by that response, like this nonchalant stance of Corentin. And then he changes topics and he says, "Have you made up your mind on the Gangrel Pack?"
No, I've not. And they sort of turn and like busy themselves. Maybe like moving wine around. There's like a bouquet on. They sort of like mess with the flowers a little bit, just like putting it just right.
I have been trying to keep as much as an eye as I can on the pack in these past months, and I'm glad that my cooperation with Megara Monet is still in working order. But I have been giving it much thought, considering our guest a few months ago. Have you heard any further words from neighboring domains? Any other indications that there might be those from the outside who question our independence?
I've spoken with a few members of the Seas d'Azur, but we all agree it is a shame that Roz left our station.
A shame, truly. I would have wanted to learn more about the exact nature of her visit. I am still investigating, as you know, the exact circumstances of her disappearance.
And that is exactly what Paris wants to know. And
You've
why
been
you
in touch
are
with Paris.
You and I have told him you are working and focused on the case.
So Paris is still has its eye on us.
Of course. I mean, what is 3 months? But a blink of an eye to us.
I see. If that is the case, I think I should be returning to my investigations. They would be expecting a response, I assume.
I will keep them at bay as long as possible, but...
Yes, but, my liege, I think you have better things to do than extending the timer for my work.
Roll?
Being a suck-up?
You said it, not us.
Girl.
I love it.
What would being a suck up fall under? Etiquette.
I probably this is either like persuasion and charisma something.
I'm gonna go with let's go with
Or-
etiquette because you're
Etiquette.
There's at least one more dot there, and manipulation.
Etiquette and manipulation.
I would have said politics personally.
Oh, there we go. 3 successes. Oh, wait a second. Wait a second. Are we like are we back at hunger 1 or are we still at hunger 2?
Well,
Oh,
you've
yeah.
rolled 2 hunger. It
We-
looks like.
Because I would be there. You know what? I am at hunger 2. Let's say I am at hunger 2. And that would be a messy critical in this case. No, wait, it isn't because is it?
You
No,
need
it's,
two
it's not
tens for a
because you
messy
had.
critical.
Yeah.
Yeah, I only have 110. It's okay. Well, it's still 3 successes.
No, which is
It's
pretty
really good.
Messy critical would have been fun, but oh well.
It's 4, no? 4 successes.
No, if you have 2 10s, the 2 10s together count together as 4 successes.
But it is
1
4
10
successes here.
Is it?
Mhm.
Yes.
Am I not counting this correctly? 1, 2, 3. Oh, right. Yeah. Haha, cool.
The 10 is also a success.
And that, they lift a finger, is why you are my sheriff, and put like a French manicured hand on your shoulder. You focus on all the right things where I simply can't be bothered, as you say.
You honor me. Am I excused for the rest of the night?
Maxine, you know your presence here is not required. It's not mandatory. You are welcome.
As mentioned, I shall continue my investigations then. And should anything else pop up about the disappearance of Ross and anything we could report to Paris, I will inform you. Though I would, as far as it befits my station, ask you to consider what to do about the Gangrel Pack. How to proceed with that. I do think that if we're already under the gaze of other Camarilla cities, having such an anarch presence here does not help our case.
Maxine, to assume just because they are gangrel, that they are also anarchs, is incorrect. Just because I am Bruja does not mean I too am a lawless anarch.
Do they respect your rulership, my prince? Do they
I
come
know
to
Inez
your
doesn't.
Do they come to your Elysiums you hold? When you call, will they come?
One of them always does.
I do not doubt her loyalty.
I don't. I would. I think Lucille is only loyal to Reinhard.
I
Or
see.
that's not who you were talking about.
No. No, I was not, my prince.
Oh, Meg? Who is she loyal to? Me? And they smile, these like pearly whites, grin.
Megara Monet has been a more than reliable asset in all these years. I would not worry yourself with any doubt in her loyalty. But that does
Loyalty
not mean
To
that
me? To the city? To your group?
I leave it in your imagination to answer that question, my prince.
Then I leave you with one last question. What should I do if you think these wolves are such terrible anarchs? Should I tell Reinhardt and his pack to leave simply?
Oh, no, quite the opposite. I would urge to clarifying alliances. If we if we bring the pack further into the fold, if we have them understand the threat that we face from outside, that could be a uniting factor.
They walk over to the starboard side of the ship, which faces east in this case. And they point to the eastern side of Nice, right outside of the old town, which is a very large hill filled with trees, and it's very dark compared to the rest of Nice. What you can mostly see up there are the individual lights of large mansions, essentially. Those mansions sit right on the edge of what is a national park, Parc du Mont Boron, if I'm not mangling that too much. Do you see all of that darkness up there?
I do.
That is what they control, and I need them to do that. That is a blank spot in my kingdom. Are you going there? Am I going there? Absolutely not. Who is watching that place?
My prince, if you want me to go there, I will go there post haste.
I don't need you to, because I have Reinhardt.
I think both of us will need more time to ponder this question. This has been a fruitful conversation, my prince. I do think that sometimes we need to spend more time in these respectful exchanges of ideas to keep both of our wits about us.
No, I hate keeping a calendar.
That is what you have me for, my liege.
Take all the
And-
time you need to ponder whatever you want.
I do a respectful curtsy and go out.
The camera turns to Corentin, who watches you leave as the door slides behind. His face turns back to the dark window, and the camera zooms out through the window and up into the hill of Mont Boron.
Maxime is such a suck up. I hate it.
I hate myself a little bit.
But I feel like suck up with a purpose.
I mean, if you
Sure.
ever need a
God.
persuasion specialty, I'm just gonna suggest brown nosing.
Ay, ay, ay.
Oh.
Anyways.
I like this park. It's really pretty.
It is
Oh,
super
is it?
pretty.
Yeah, and there's like a castle at the top.
And
Ooh.
that is where we're going.
Hey.
Yes, baby.
Yes.
The camera
Here's your
zooms
castle.
up into
Wow.
this castle at the top of Mont Boron. And it is mostly dark. But somewhere within the depths of a shadowy, drizzly courtyard, a lantern is turned on. And holding that lantern, we see Megara Monet.
Hi.
What do you look like, Meg?
Meg is this. How tall did we say she was again?
Over
Be
6
tall.
feet.
I was-
Because Meg
always
at
saying
5
6'2".
Adelaide at like 5'9", wearing 5-inch or 6-inch heels, was at a height with Meg.
So 6'3" or 4-ish.
Yeah.
Quite tall.
Yeah.
So yes, Megara is very, very tall. If you see this lantern turned on by her, of course, like her face is lit by this flame, which is a soft face, I would say. Yeah, it's kind of soft. She wears this kind of makeup, very grungy, very, very dark, edgy. She has this short haircut that is, well, no, it's like shoulder length haircut, which is just a mane of curls. It's like swept to the side, and it's very luscious and very beautiful. And you also see that she has a pair of cat eyes. She has her pupils are vertical in that sense, and completely yellow. Um, and yeah, then you zoom out a little bit and you really see her stature, which is big, built like a brick house, like very built, muscled woman. And she
Hot.
and she is never seen without a suit, except for if you come to her house and she's in her comfortable minimal clothing phase, because as we know, gangrel don't actually really like having clothes on their body. So if she's comfortable, she loves to just walk around almost naked. But yes, she is mostly seen wearing a suit, and yeah, a suit and tie. And
You have a
yeah,
watch?
yes, absolutely. Yes. I think we said that in the first time we played as well, where she was looking at a watch while she was in the car driving, all that stuff. I think she has a beautiful like silver watch. Yes.
You lift the watch to look at it. It's about 5 minutes before midnight. And there's a voice from the vicinity of your shoulder. Oh man, are we here early again? Why can't anyone be on time?
This is Raphael, I suppose.
No, this is your Femulus.
Oh God,
Tony.
Tony,
Was it Tony or Toby?
Toby? No way.
Tony.
I don't remember.
It's
Yo, I'm
Tony now.
Tony.
Tony,
The New York
Tony.
sounding rat.
No,
Mouse.
Tony, yeah.
Mouse or rat?
Mouse.
Mouse, okay. Oh
Um,
man. They're like sort of sitting. He's sitting in your collar, trying to keep warm in the drizzly cold.
why can't anyone be here on time? I go, well, Tony, no one's ever here on time because we're vampires. We don't really look at the time. So,
Yeah, whatever. I mean, there's got to be a little respect sometimes around here. I mean, why is it that we always got to be the one holding the lantern and showing up first?
because I'm the guard dog. That's why. I sit and wait until something's wrong.
Meg, I really wish you wouldn't talk about yourself like that.
What do you mean?
Just imagine if someone called, one of your friends, the ones or, your girlfriend, if they called her a dog, well, how would you react?
Am I not a dog? Gangrels aren't dogs, aren't they?
Well, that one guy is no dog. He's a scary big old bird.
Well, that's not him.
And I definitely wouldn't call Reinhardt a dog.
I would definitely call him a dog. A big, huge German Shepherd, if I would say so myself. At least that's how I saw him anyways. Always. So,
Can he actually turn into a German Shepherd out of character?
sure, why not?
Okay, cool. I mean, why not indeed? There's no,
Exactly.
there literally is no answer to that question.
Big man, he can do what he wants.
Well, yeah, I guess he's a dog, but anyway. Oh shit! And he scurries down as like this owl form like swoops across, like super close to you, and sort of pulls away. And as they do, they like. It looks like the owl's gonna like crash into the ground, but then like rolls, and in a rolling, broiling mass of flesh, like stand up, like Willy Wonka after the somersault.
Mhm.
And it's Raphael. That was close one. Toby, I'll get you yet. And he licks his lips.
You will not.
It's
I know
Tony.
you. You will not. I will make sure of that. Glad to see you, Raphael.
Oh, are you? Is Raphael French? This is going to be the
Sure.
question I ask of everyone.
I think Raphael is native. Yes.
Okay, from France or even Nice or the French Riviera.
From Nice. Yes.
Okay. Well, it's just a game that Tony and I play. Huh? No need to take it so personally.
That's all she says.
Ah. And sort of like makes a whole lot of like tisking, sighing, like noises.
Mhm.
When eventually the rest of the pack slowly move in. Lucille shows up next. She nods. It's an approving nod. Good job. Her nod says to you. She doesn't say anything else. Crosses her arms and waits in the shadows of like a archway. Followed later by Marlene and Gaston. Marlene is quite a beautiful woman, and Gaston is her large silent accompaniment usually.
Yes. I want to take that back. I don't think Raphael is French. I think he's the only non-French one.
Interesting.
Can I say
Weird.
Yes. What is he? You also don't have to answer that.
that? I don't know. Yeah, I really don't know. Who knows?
Great.
I think Megara doesn't even know.
Nobody in the pack knows.
Who knows?
It's a mystery.
I think probably Reinhardt does, but I don't think that the pack talks about where they're from at all.
Finally, Reinhardt arrives. Your adoptive sire. The adoptive sire of all of the gangrel. Here. We got to stretch.
I'll stretch like a dog. Hold on.
My back cracked.
Thank you. That's so good.
Meg, what does Reinhardt look like?
So he is completely gray. He's like old. Like he got turned
Like
when
40.
he was pretty. Oh my God. No,
Completely
I was
pretty.
thinking more like late 50s. I was thinking.
Cool. Got it.
And so he's turned completely gray, and he has longer hair, not very long hair. It's like here-ish, but he also always wears it in like a man bun. A man bun. I hate that word. In a bun. Period. And then the other half is like down. It's like it's kind of like a mullet, basically, a little bit. He has, just like Meg, these cat eyes or whatever. And he is even bigger than her. I was thinking that he is like 6'10". Yes, that he is huge, and he is even more muscled. He's like actually like broad and like big legs, like huge legs. Like he can't shop normally. He can't shop in the normal clothing stores. It's impossible. He has clothes made for him, and so he wears this very rough looking leather trench coat, which has gone through the ringer. It has actually it has claw marks all over it, and some dried up blood, all that stuff. And under that, he wears very casual clothing. He wears a gray t-shirt, and big, like baggy cargo pants, I think, like beige cargo pants with huge combat boots. Yeah, and I think he might have like a scar over his face, maybe like running from like his temple to over his lip, I think. Maybe like almost crossing his eye. But just missing it. And he has a very kind smile. Humongous hands. Just like Meg's hand fits 2 times in there. And yeah, that's him.
Okay.
Big boy.
Big boy,
Huge
big boy.
Humongous boy.
Reinhardt walks into the circle of light. The lantern where you put it down on the ground has stayed there. And as each pack member has entered into the scene, they have come and stood within the circle of the light. Raphael's probably like sitting, lounging. As we said, Lucille is like leaning up against a wall, an archway, just like barely in the shadows, but enough in the circle. And Reinhardt enters into like the last sort of open spot around the lantern, this ring of light. And he says, "Welcome to the Gather.
Thank
Before
you.
we begin, is there anyone who would like to nominate themselves or someone else for leadership of this gathering?"
Megara unconsciously takes like a tiny step back.
Still within the ring of light.
Yes.
Nobody says or does anything, but you know this is how all of the gathers start. Reinhardt has explained this is a little bit more formal, but it's old school gangrel, and presumably maybe still current school gangrel. The problem is you have no idea what the rest of the clan has been doing for the last several years because you don't belong with them anymore. You are Camarilla. They are anarchs. He nods. Does anyone have anything they'd like to report? And his eyes linger on you, Meg, for a moment.
Why are you looking at me like that?
You seem to have the busiest social life out of all of us.
You're not wrong.
And you've got an ear for gossip.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Out of character, Meg, what did you tell the pack about what happened with
No.
Rob? Okay.
No. God, no. God, no. No. I don't think she might have told Reinhardt because he's like a father, and she can't really. He sees right through her. So he knows. I'm gonna
I'll
say
tell
that
you.
he knows.
Before you say that,
Oh, okay.
keep your hand on the chess piece. I will tell you, Reinhardt's old school.
Yes.
He is so old school that instead of leaving the Camarilla with the rest of the gangrel, he said, "No, my life for the Ivory Tower."
You're right.
Is that someone you want to tell about this?
I don't think so, no. Actually.
So we can roll for it, or if you want to leave it up to chance.
Oh no, I do not want to leave this as a chance.
So
I
Reinhardt,
don't then I don't think she told anyone because she
Perfect.
can't trust this pack. Like they are so like teasing and all that stuff, you know, and like they really have this like brother and sister bond. And could you really trust your sister with this lifelong secret to not tell your parents?
no.
I don't think so. I don't fucking think so.
I
If
mean,
you
I
say
can
you
tell
do-
her a lot of things, but they would all go back to my mom.
Exactly. So, I think it's
No.
completely silent, radio silent, and so I think, yeah, no, she doesn't show that on her face when he is like, you have an ear for gossip, and you have the most social life. Blah, blah, blah.
Then Lucille clears her throat, and she's still leaning up against the stone wall, not moving. Well, your neighbor is a new sheriff, Maxime. He's been asking questions, trying to point the finger of blame on us.
Poor Maxime.
Poor Maxime, poor us. We are on such a light. What's the word I'm looking for? We are on such terrible footing with Prince Conton and the rest of the Azure Six, le Sea de Azure. Just because of our blood. And you laugh. And your neighbor, your friend, wants to accuse us of something. Meg, are you not doing something about this?
Of course I'm laughing because you're angry. It's funny.
Raphael snorts.
I will talk to him. Don't you worry. I know of his position of power now, and I know that he is concerned might not be the right word. I will talk to him. Don't you worry. I'll go back to my apartment soon enough, and we are indeed neighbors. I mean, could always invite him in.
Is this something we need to consider seriously, Lucille? Reinhardt says. And she nods. I am afraid that, given enough time, we may be used as, to take the fall, as it were, for the missing Api, Rose. Reinhardt nods. And Meg, you have no idea where Roz went, do you?
Her expression, it's like, you know how sometimes autistic people stop masking, and so their face goes completely blank. That's for a split second what happens with Megara. And she catches it really quickly, and she goes, I would not have a singular idea of where she went, what happened, what might have transpired. I'm so sorry. I wish I knew.
Roll composure and subterfuge.
Oh,
Dun dun dun.
I don't have subterfuge.
Oh no.
Maybe it's persuasion. Maybe better.
Not
Could it
in
be
this
persuasion?
case. This is a straight lie.
Where's Rainier when you need him?
It's fine. It's fine. Don't worry. It's fine.
Uh-huh.
Don't worry.
Fingers crossed, fingers crossed.
Subterfuge and what was it?
Composure.
Composure.
Dice Gods, I'm Xing this.
Come
if she
on.
X it.
I can always willpower. It's fine. Don't worry.
Mm-hmm.
That's true.
Excuse me.
2
Those are-
successes.
The only 2 successes that I could get. So
Hey.
An 8 and a 9. That's great.
I hoped that it was a crit, but no.
All right. Well, it's a shame. Meg, we need you to look into this. Reinhardt raises his gray eyebrows.
She goes, of course. Another thing on my plate.
Another thing?
Please. You know I have jobs around the city, I'm the guard dog, that's what I was talking about. And also dealing with Maxime, of course.
Are you unhappy with your position in this pack, Megara?
Absolutely not. Sir. She calls him sir. I love my position. I think I'm well suited for it. I am happy Truly.
Would anyone else like to take on this responsibility and take it off of Meg's plate?
Please, I made a mistake in saying so. I do not see it as a burden. Absolutely not. I'm sorry. I did not mean to sound ungrateful, sir.
Megara, roll a single d10 for me, please.
Oh no. What
I'll
is
do-
this?
I'll do it live. I'll do it live.
Yes,
We're doing it
do
live.
Do it live.
I'll do it live with these new dice that I got from one of my friends, and it has blood splattered over it. So
Fun. Appropriate. Gambare.
it is a 6.
1, 2, 3, 4. Raphael raises his hand. I'd be more than happy to assist you, Meg, in this investigation. You stick to the streets, and I stick to the sky, huh?
I look to Reinhardt and I go, do I really have to?
He nods.
Fine.
Great. Then it's a date. Oh, or is that too much for you? Are you not allowed to date other people now?
Well, definitely not you. So
Look, I hear polycules are all the rage these nights.
of course they are. Well, are you staying here or do you need a place? You don't. Forget I
No.
asked.
They all have places to live.
Thank God.
Reinhardt sort of nods. Then, if there aren't any objections, he looks at everyone and looks to Lucille, and she sort of bites her lip a little bit and nods like, "It's fine. It's cool." Great. Then that's taken care of. Any other news? No one says anything. And he says, "Well, then I have news. I'll be taking my leave of Nice for a little while. I'm taking a trip."
A trip where?
I think everyone, you know the pack dynamics. Everyone starts to freak out a little bit as he hesitates, because hesitation is not something that Reinhardt does. He's maxed out composure, so there's not. I've heard a call. Meg, do you know what that means?
No, absolutely not.
Meg, give me. Oh, you have no knowledge.
Absolutely not. Zero
Okay.
brain cells? What do you think? Who do you think I am?
Uh,
I am all brawn, no brain. Come on.
Lucille is the only one who registers, and Raphael's like, "So, you've got the working phone? Big whoop." And he shakes his head. "It's something else. We assumed the calls were over." He frowns again. Several years ago, back when the war broke out anew between Anarch and Camarilla, elders around the world felt a call and made their way east. I'm now feeling something similar. So I'll be heading to Istanbul for a while.
Istanbul? What? And you're just leaving? What are we supposed to do? Hmm?
Lucille will keep things under control, and Meg, you will... He smiles. Play your part. The Ivory Tower does not stand with one column alone.
Fine.
I'll be in touch. I promise.
You better be.
Everyone sort of like nods. There's tension. A little anxiety has entered the circle. The chat. And the camera fades and zooms back out, and we can see the rain come in with a nude vigor begin to pour a little bit as the light in the castle on Montboron goes out and the pack scatters for cover. The night is long and dark, wet and cold, and a heavier rainstorm moves in over the area with a nude vigor.
Oh.
At least let me buy a dinner first.
Meg, can you tell us once more what kind of car you drive? What does it look like?
I think because she has some extra resources, she's upgraded.
Mm.
And so she probably now has a car of her own instead of the limo that she normally drives. So normally she drove a limo. It was an extended station wagon, let's say that.
Yes.
It wasn't very much like a long one. It was just like, it had 4 seats in the back, facing each other, and like a window that could go up and down, and then her in the front with 1 passenger seat. I think that now she has her own car. What kind of car would Meg drive? It has to be huge, of course.
Oh, ATV, I was just about to say.
Not an
Oh.
ATV. I think that it would be like one of those Range Rover trucks, like not a G-Wagon, because that's too that's no. It's just like a really big Range Rover, I think. And it has like this beautiful like cream interior, but it's completely black and tinted on the outside. And yeah, that's what she drives. She's looking at her watch while she's driving. I think she's kind of running late for like when she's normally at home. And so she's kind of like, oh, fuck, She steps on the gas a little harder, but also she's like going down a mountain, so like it's precarious.
Eurobeat running in the background.
Eurobeat? No. I think Meg is very much an R&B person. She loves listening to R&B. I think so. That in that way, she's like me.
French R&B?
No, American.
Oh, okay. All right, so we're listening to American R&B as we're driving down the side of a mountain. The traffic in Nice is light, especially with the weather and the time of night. It's now well after midnight, probably 12:30. Where are you headed? Home.
Home. Yes, I'm heading to our apartment complex. And I haven't eaten today. I also am not necessarily hungry, but I haven't eaten. So
We did not roll for hunger at the beginning of the session, which I think
This
is
is true.
fine, especially because it's the first day. So we'll future sessions, and every night when we wake up, we'll make rouse checks. But for now, everyone should be at least at 1. Although we saw that I think Maxine is at 2 hunger. We'll see how that turns out.
So does she pick up food? I was actually thinking, because I was myself was having some like candy to like to like suck on to keep my mouth stimulated. I think, is there something like that for vampires, like a blood lollipop?
No.
Like,
Just
I mean,
gnawing on someone's shoulder.
a blood bag that you could sip on.
that's all really? We haven't gotten more inventive in these many years.
Nope. Most food just tastes like ash.
Yikes, dude.
The blood pudding is not going to work.
Sadly.
And True Blood was a very successful HBO TV show that helped uphold the Masquerade.
Mm. Okay. So but she's not necessarily hungry.
What about like a blood bag but in juice box shape?
The question is, where would you get this blood bag?
That's true.
Are there not dealers out there?
Well, Maxime himself is a bagger, so he would have at least some kind of blood bags. And if Meg would ask him, he would see if he could share part of his supply. I mean, it's not limitless because he needs contacts to get blood bags himself.
Yes, exactly.
If Meg would need something like that, he would be willing to share that.
I do think, however, because she does keep her limousine stocked with at least one blood bag.
Yes. But if you're at
which-
one hunger, you can't bring that down without killing someone.
No, exactly. But it's not necessarily for. Maybe she is not thinking about food at all. Maybe it's fine, you know.
Why is she thinking so much?
Because she's thinking about Adelaide, and she probably hasn't eaten. That's for sure. She's probably not at a hunger either. She's probably not hungry.
Adelaide? Are
Is
you
she-
hungry?
Do you have?
Is very forgetful in full swing of fashion season.
Make a rouse check, Adelaide.
Okay, remind me what I need to do for this.
So it's a 1d, just one die.
You can click
Okay.
it on your sheet. There's
Okay.
underneath
Ooh,
your
there
hunger. There's
is.
rouse check. Look at that.
Succeeded.
So
Okay,
you
so
are
you're
not
not-
hungry.
Okay.
You've been holding through. But Meg is
Anyways,
worried.
does Meg? She doesn't really think about that. So, I think what she's gonna do is she is just gonna grab that blood bag out of her compartment in the limo when she parks her car next to the limo. She gets out and goes to the limo, opens it, gets the blood bag out, and then she starts undoing her tie while walking, and then gets to the elevator and presses the button.
Yes, but I need this is the first time in this episode that we're getting a look at the building
Oh, please, yes.
in which all of our kindred live.
Mhm.
So you've driven along the coast and turned off in a certain point into Le Carré d'Or. Honey, I haven't been keeping up my French practice.
Carré d'or.
Carré d'Or. Thank you. This
Yeah.
this will count as my French practice.
Je peux t'aider plus tard.
Duolingo will leave you alone for now.
Yes.
For now.
Or no.
For now.
I did my Japanese on our break.
Let's go.
Remind me which one of our coterie members actually owns the building.
Rainer.
Yeah. right?
That's me.
What does this building look like?
Well, it is, as you said, an apartment building. One of them, it doesn't look that pricey compared to the ones around it. It has a certain sinister aura, so a lot of dark windows, lots of glass. It still fits into the corridor, and I apologize for my pronunciation there, in that it definitely looks fancy, but it looks fancy in the way that, let's say, a Gothic cathedral looks fancy. There's definitely something off about it.
Okay. So into the fancy but something off apartment building, into the glass elevator in true French style. It is a very small glass elevator in the center of the stairwell. Probably like frosted glass with like metal black wrought iron fixings on top of it. Just big enough for 4 people to like all stand shoulder to shoulder, chest to chest, if needed. But in this case, we have just one Meg.
Uh-huh. And I'll ride the elevator all the way up, hoping that she's home. She might still be at the atelier, but if she's not home, she has a key to get in. So
Into Meg's apartment.
into Adelaide's apartment.
Okay. Great. Adelaide, I think you're on the top floor.
Yes, she's in the loft.
Mm-hmm.
So we go to Adelaide in her apartment as Meg is riding up the elevator. Adelaide, what are you wearing now? And what does your apartment look like during
What are you wearing?
this very busy-
Oh God! Don't make it weird.
Well, no. No.
Remember, we got a veil on ERP. So
Okay.
It can happen. It just needs to go
Yes,
off screen.
Yes.
Absolutely. No, so the apartment itself is extremely lavish. When you go up to the top of the elevator, it opens out into the main room, which has, I can't remember all of the details that I gave before, but like very large paintings and sculptures and things that seem like they belong in a museum, and they probably should be there, but they're in her apartment. And there is a very beautiful piano on full display, front and center. It is the centerpiece of this room. Never mind the fact that she does not play piano. There's a reason for it being there. But she is currently in her her home atelier, and she is like elbows deep in fabrics, and she has patterns pinned all over the place. And unlike how the rest of the coterie normally sees her, she is like, at this point, like, she's forgotten about her makeup. Like, there's a couple of smudges in places. It's not so crisp and perfect as it was before, and her hair is like an absolute mess bunched up, and she is just like muttering to herself and looking over and like grabbing patterns, and like she is just in full focus mode making stuff.
When the elevator arrives and the doors open, Adelaide, does that pull you out of your focus?
No, it does not.
So, Meg, you enter into the scene, and she has not noticed your arrival.
Is that? Can I see that from the elevator?
No, you can't. You can see that the door is slightly ajar. It's further along into the apartment. You can see light coming out of what you know is her atelier at home.
And of course, I hear the sewing machine.
Oh, yes. And you hear the muttering, and you hear...
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I like kick off my shoes. I kind of go, it hurts one of my toes. And then I throw the tie that I loosened. I throw it on the couch, and I just walk over to the door while saying, "Sweetheart."
And she looks up as you're saying this and walking into the room, and you know at this point this frazzled, frenzied look in her eye. Oh. Hi.
Hi.
What are you doing? I was just working on a dress that needs to be finished by sunrise. It's almost done. I'm getting there. It's getting there. I'm okay. I'm fine, I promise.
Then she puts the blood bag into her pocket. All right. And she comes closer, and kind of looks over your shoulder, and then she takes, while you're like with your back towards her, she like takes her hands and is like putting your hair like back in a nice bun and like putting the hairs behind your ears, and then she kind of takes your chin and goes, "Look at me," and she wipes away the smudges of makeup and she goes, "Still as beautiful as I thought."
You're the only one that I would ever allow to see me like this. You know that.
Of course. What's it gonna be? Do you have sketches?
Oh, yes, here. And she goes over, and she is also barefoot. You are the only one who sees her barefoot. But she goes over, and off of the wall, she takes these two very large drawings, and it's this ornate. It is a ball gown that is made for winter. It is made for the outdoors, but you can see the sections where there's parts that come off of it, and it is a decadent ball gown that is meant to be reveal after reveal after reveal.
Ooh.
So, and she just goes through and is like explaining everything here, and I only have maybe a couple more hours and it will be finished, and Alex is going to come by and pick it up in the morning while I'm just going to put it outside so that they don't. Yes, it's almost done.
I would say breathe. However, we don't. Calm down, okay? You've got this. It's going to be amazing.
I think I can take a break for a little while. I've been going for a few hours, so probably should take a break.
Yes, you should.
There's plenty of time. I can finish this, but break time?
Break time. And Meg softly takes her hand in that huge hand of hers and just takes you over to the couch where they like watch some movies, I think, and just talk a little bit about their day. Meg tells, I think Meg, okay, we gotta roleplay that out. Hold on. Because Meg does eventually turn to you and goes, "I had a meeting with the pack today."
And? Was Raphael being weird again?
As he always is. How could he not be?
True.
Yes, they have concerns.
About
Maxine. About him being in power at this point.
Well, I mean, someone has to be.
Sure, absolutely. You're right about that, darling. However, they feel that as an anarch group, they might be catching the blame for all that we did. They're very, very scared. It's kind of interesting.
Well, we just need to talk to Maxime, make him cast his net elsewhere.
I'll have a conversation with him tomorrow. I think maybe tonight. I don't know how he's looking after his shift at the yacht.
Yes, well. He just needs to know that all four of us, we're in this together no matter what. And if he casts blame on your pack, that's going to look bad on you. And we can't have that.
We surely can't. So it was an interesting meeting. However, I was also tasked with investigating more into what happened to Roz. Poor Roz.
Poor Roz indeed.
And who else to be assigned to me to do that than Raphael?
Oh my god.
Well,
Oh.
so this is going to be very interesting. I mean, Raphael doesn't take anything seriously, truly. So it's fine, honestly. I will lead him into the entirely wrong direction every single time he thinks he's getting close. It's going to be a very, very fun game of dog and mouse.
Sorry, is Raphael the one that can turn into a dog?
I'm the one that, well, I
Okay.
can't turn into a dog just yet. However, I am the dog.
No,
He's an
I was
owl.
I was going to say because you have a mouse.
I have a mouse. Yes, true. Yes.
Sorry. Anyway, that was Anya, not.
No, it's okay.
Not Adelaide.
Totally fine. Totally fine.
Well, this certainly sounds like a complete and total mess, but not one that we can't rectify.
No, of course. At least nothing you need to worry your head about, of course.
Speaking of worrying, Alphonse is trying to buy my business.
Excuse me? What is he?
Are you surprised?
Yes, of course I am.
The man
nerve on this
hates
guy.
me.
The nerve on him. Oh my god.
The man will do anything that he can to take me down. So of course he wants to buy me out, and I'm a little bit worried about Alex. They took a little bit too keen of an interest in the price tag offered. And I need to know more about what's going on with them. They know too much. And if they aren't loyal to me, that is a problem.
Where is their money going? You pay them well.
I pay them very well, more than most humans normally would be paid. And I'm not sure what's happening exactly with their money, but they certainly haven't been spending it on clothing like they used to do. And it seems fishy to me. But those are my worries, and I'm in the thick of the winter season right now, so taking time off of making all of these commissions is going to be far too much to put on my plate, to be honest.
Well, do you want me or Rainier to take over?
I mean, do you think that this is something that you could do? I'd rather not owe Rainier.
You're very smart. Yes.
Mm.
Is this something I could do? Investigating in why this person needs more money and why they are not loyal to you?
Maybe
course.
just tracking them for a while, see if something's fishy. I certainly can't. I'm a little bit too noticeable.
It's not like I'm very unnoticeable either.
Yes, but I think that you would fit in a little bit more with their crowd than me.
I guess so. I guess I'll opt out of the suit and tie for once. You know how I hate that.
I know.
Sure. I'll track them.
Thank you.
No problem, sweetheart.
Now let's not talk about all of this. Let's just I need a moment to decompress and then back to work.
Yes. And she pulls you a little closer. And then, she almost like falls asleep-ish. She's kind of tired after such a long day. But eventually she lets you get back to work. And I think she will kiss you goodbye and go to her own apartment. Yeah, I'll retreat for the night, for the morning, and yeah.
Okay.
Focus. Fall gown.
Oh, God.
So, a few hours pass. I wanted to look up Sunrise in Nice,
That was
November
so cute, by the
2022.
way. That was so cute.
We're looking at around a 7 a.m. It's late November. We're looking at a 7:30 sunrise. So everyone needs to be in bed about an hour before then, or everyone will feel the urge to be in bed about an hour before then, because we're all at around 7 humanity, as far as I recall.
Exactly.
The lower your humanity is, the earlier you need to go to bed, and the later you wake up. So we still have a good 6 hours. Well, some of us do. You two are cuddling and who knows
Yeah.
what.
Who knows what? Excuse me.
Takes off the fingernails.
Watching a
Wow!
movie. Watching a movie, apparently. Earmuffs.
Earmuffs.
Oh,
This isn't 18 plus, so
Yeah.
whatever.
We're good. We're good.
God.
Hey, fade to black.
You gotta keep them fingernails
yep.
short. It's very utilitarian.
Yeah,
Mhm.
of course.
It absolutely is.
Yeah, it's for sewing.
Sewing.
I feel like with really good nails, you could actually like grab threads really well if you were super
Yeah.
trained.
It's tricky because like super thin nails versus like if you have acrylics, they're much thicker, and so it's actually harder to grab things.
Okay.
I've learned
But-
the hard way.
We're vampires. So I would like to ask what Rainier and Maxime were doing after the party.
Depends
Yeah,
on what
yeah.
Jean
Where-
was doing.
Yeah, where would you be going right now? Yeah.
Okay. Jean, Rainier, are you gonna hang out with Jean tonight then?
Not per se, as I said, he just happens to be around where Jean is,
Got it.
purely by accident.
Jean is gonna come up. So I think we're still at the party then. If anything, more people have shown up because it was still early, all things considered. Parties.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not at the age anymore where I can show up at a party that if a party doesn't start, if it only starts at 11, that means it's not really happening until 1 a.m. And I'm too old for that. But anyway, it's about 1 a.m. and the party is a big group of people just showed up, and a renewed vigor has sort of come into the party. That's what the episode should have been entitled today.
A nude vigor. Yes.
Renewed.
Just nude vigor.
That'll be the next one. So Jean is enjoying himself. He's working with you, Rainier, to like deal essentially party favors. And I think at a certain there's a lull after this sort of group comes in, and the two of you find each other. Just kind of come back to each other to compare notes, basically. Gene snaps his fingers. I invited someone here tonight. Texted them a while ago to see if you might be interested in meeting them. We have a certain arrangement with your. How do you refer to your herd with Gene? Because Gene keeps your herd supplied in drugs.
True. Let's say his club, because it's the Board Snake Club.
Okay. I thought I've met someone new. Could be a good potential new member of your club.
Ah, good to know. Good to know. See, that's why I like you. So they haven't shown up yet, I get her.
They're coming in now. I'm headed downstairs to collect them.
Excellent. Well, take them to me if they want.
Okay. Gene does not know that your club is for you to feed on. He doesn't even know you're a vampire. But, drug dealers aren't all fun and games. And this particular one finds it very helpful to have a group of addicts who live in your basement.
That's true.
Yes.
Always helps.
Yeah, who have some money to spend. And you also, spend money in keeping them supplied in drugs because you're not a nice guy. I don't know if anyone has picked up on that yet. So, I'm going to need a little help in describing this woman as they enter in. Meg. What does Alicia, your one dot enemy, look like?
Oh God. Oh Jesus. Ooh.
Oh no.
Okay.
I don't
okay,
even know if
okay.
I
I know
know.
I know exactly what she looks like. So, she has long black hair with like waves in it. Like it's like a Hollywood curl. Like the big like curls, they are very luscious and beautiful. And she is mostly seen in burgundy red. And so not burgundy red, blood red. So she is wearing this like
I just got Shannon Doherty vibes. I don't know why.
interesting.
Yeah, I like a young version, but anyway, go on.
She wears this a blood red slutty cocktail dress. Like it is short, not too short. It's short, and it has like, it's one of those that are like that have like the strings running through the front, so that when you pull it at the end, it gets like scrunched up in the middle, and it gives you that like really nice shape and figure. And it really hugs her beautiful curves. And over that, she wears like a blazer.
Good.
I'd say.
I was wondering how she was going to cover up her arms.
Yes, she wears this blazer. No, I would call it a bolero. Do you know what that is?
Okay.
It's like a short jacket. So it's like a jacket up until under the boobs, basically.
Oh, that's so
And
cute.
that goes around.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then it has little, it like folds over at the end, and it's like black on the end.
So it's like just the sleeves, essentially.
Basically, yes. But
Cool.
also it has like a little bit of a collar popped up.
She is it normal for her to come into like such a she place like this?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. She is very much about that life. Like she's
Okay.
very much about like roaming in circles and parties and like things that she doesn't really know about, but wants to go anyway,
Okay.
like she doesn't care. It's a
And the most-
nightlife.
And the most important question, is she French?
That should be the title of this.
Is she French?
French.
Is she?
Is she, French?
Is she, French? She is not French.
What is she? Or is that, can I decide? It's also a weird
You can-
question. As I say it, I'm like, what is she? Like,
Yeah.
where is she
um,
from, I
Where-
suppose?
She's from, I want to say no, because then we have another fucking person with a New York accent. not New York, Italy.
She can be American, though.
Birmingham.
Yeah, let her be American. Who
Birmingham.
cares?
I'm not trying a Birmingham.
Birmingham.
accent. I'll just say
She's-
American.
She's American. Mark.
She
I
from
don't
Texas?
think she has. No, I don't think she has a southern twang at all. I think she
No.
has this very standard, maybe just like Washington, like very much just normal American accent.
I'm getting Northern California vibes.
Sure, why not? It's LA.
Yeah, kind of neutralish
No.
like I speak.
Sure,
Yes.
kind of neutral.
Neutralish. Okay, so
Yeah.
She walks in. She's looking around. It's clearly her first time here.
Mhm.
Important question, Maxime. Are you still on board?
Maxime told the prince that he would be leaving to continue his investigations. So I think if he would have gotten the idea that Rainier had everything under control here, he would have made his way back to his haven.
Okay.
And probably be in his floor of the haven somewhere a little after Meg would have come home.
Okay. Good to know. So for now, back on board. Alicia walks on, very much looking around, and Jean brings her up and introduces her to you, Rainier. This is Alicia. She's American, but a good person.
Well, nice to meet you, Alicia. Rainier offers his hand to shake. Rainier is my name.
She accepts it. So Jean here says that you might have a place for me to hang out if I need it.
In a way, question is, well, let's say I have some very strict rules about that place, you understand, so the question is, are you cool with that? Especially because, certain people don't need to know about that place.
She rubs the back of her neck and says, yeah, I'm cool. Jean sort of explained what goes down there, and yeah, I'm looking for a place to crash.
All right, so let's call it a vibe check. So tell me about yourself. And Rainier wants to, let's call it activate his kind of listening. As I said, Rainier has this knack of listening to people that makes them feel more interesting and clever and funny than they actually are, and he uses that so they, tell him about themselves. So he wants to do that.
Okay. Go ahead and roll what insight, isn't it? No, yes?
I have, if that's okay, I have the persuasion specialty active listening, so maybe that.
Active listening. Is that from the book?
It's from an older
Interesting.
edition, but not from
Persuasion,
V5.
active listening. So yeah, you're okay. No, I totally get it. You're persuading her to open up through your active
Exactly.
listening. Yeah, active listening, and I feel manipulation.
All right. That's one extra dice. And there we
No.
go.
Is it?
I think it is in V5.
I thought
isn't it?
with specialties, if it's
I think that's in V20. I think in V5 it's an additional die. Let me check.
We'll call it an additional die for now, I think.
That's what it is. An additional die. For
Perfect, thank you.
All right, that's 6 successes.
6.
Dang.
Well. Not a crit, but still.
Sadly.
She just opens up. You can tell she's fiending a little bit. She's also a little high, but not as high as she would like to be. Which you can tell she's looking around. Jean, while she's talking, sort of rolls a spliff and passes it. We're on the main deck, which is on the dock, in the cover of like a lee, so that we're out of the rain and the wind, but still sort of in a comfortable place, with some light. She begins explaining, I've been living in Nice on a tourist visa for about 2 years. Meg, how long ago did the incident happen? The inciting incident.
So she's been in Nice for 2 years. I would say 1.5 years ago. About half a year into her being here. because I think the backstory. Well, I don't know. I won't explain the backstory of them right now, but
Got it.
1.5 years ago.
Well, she's about to. Hydrate.
I don't have anything to drink anymore.
Does moonshine count? Because I found it in the fridge.
It does.
It's a liquid.
It is a liquid, therefore it's hydration. That's how it works.
Not necessarily true, but okay.
Well,
That's not how
5 glasses
science
of
works.
whiskey a day are not a good argument to make it your doctor that you're probably hydrated. Ask me if I know.
She explains, I've been in Nice for about 2 years on a tourist visa. Before I settled down here, I was traveling a lot, in and out of the Schengen zone, backpacking Europe. For a few years before that, I did South America, Central America. Just after I graduated college, I got my sociology degree. I just wanted to explore, and I finally landed here after going up and down the Côte d'Azur, and I just fell in love with the city. It's so beautiful, and yet it's still so alive in a lot of way that, forgive me, in a way that a lot of European cities don't feel so vibrant as Nice does. Maybe it's just the sun and the fun and all of it, but anyway.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
About 6 months after moving here, I've been in a relationship with someone. We for a couple months. She was the love of my life, and she was murdered.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
Thanks. I mean, the cops did what they could to nail down her killer, but there wasn't enough evidence, and it was all circumstantial. And I don't know, maybe it has something to do with us all being women, but her killer's still out there in the city. She lives here.
Shit, man.
Yeah, so after that, I'm just trying to figure out how to get through this. And I've been struggling. The rent's running out on my apartment, and Jean said you could help me out, maybe.
Sure can. But let me think about that. Tell you what, we're gonna crash in my club. We'll see how you do, and then we'll talk. That sound all right?
Yeah, sure. I mean, and if we're gonna, this place looks cool, but we can't really party here, can we?
Not the way we party, believe me. I got the good stuff at home.
Great. Well, cool. I think she I guess with her bolero, whatever, grabs her bolero and fixes it and says, "Cool." So this was probably a conversation that lasted maybe 30 minutes, maybe an even hour of just talking, chatting, conversing, talking about things, and around, let's say, 2 a.m. Do we want to head out?
Sure, let's go. He looks over at Jean. You wanna come with us?
No, no, that's not his voice. I will stay here to see out the end of the party. Part of our shifts, huh?
All right, you do that. Take care.
Cool. As Alicia starts walking away, Jean kind of grabs your wrist, Rainier, and lowly, so that she can hear, "She owes me money. You hear? I'd like to keep her in a place where I can keep track of her whereabouts. This is do me a favor, I do you favors. You know how it is.
I know how it is. Don't worry.
And the people I my new well where I've been drawing water from, they don't like outstanding payments. And neither do I.
Rainier nods. I'll keep that in mind. I'm gonna watch out for her.
Cool. He nods and says, "Talk to you soon," and heads up to the party once more.
All right, and with that, Rainier will probably escort her to his car, and from there on, drive to the apartment.
Renier also has a car.
Sure does. I mean, who doesn't in his status? Let's say.
Sure.
Gotta show what you got.
Yeah. What kind of car is it?
Let me think. I don't have an exact model, but I'd wager it's a bit older, but very pricey. You know, the kind of car that shows either that you like old timers very much, or you can afford a mechanic who does.
Okay.
You know, so not a Jaguar or anything, because that's a bit too flashy, but something that to the trained eye shows this guy's got money.
Okay. I feel like in the French Riviera there are lots of these cars, but this is like a good place to buy them and keep them. Trying to think of what's the car that James Bond always drives?
Aston Martin.
Aston Martin.
Aston Martin.
I like that you guys just knew that. I don't even, to be fair, I've never even watched a James Bond movie, so.
I knew
probably.
someone would know it.
Let me think. Maybe. Yeah, I think an Aston Martin V8 probably. I'm just seeing that, and it looks like something Rainier would drive.
Perfect. So she is a little like taken aback as we get to the car. Well, I mean, considering where Gene asked me to meet him, I didn't think you were broke, but nice.
Rainier nods. She's a beauty. Older than, well, most of the people here probably, but man, he, strokes over the hood a little bit. Does she pack a punch?
I believe it. She looks you up and down, sort of judging you with a new look in her eyes a little bit. I mean, up until now, she's just seen this like red-haired hipster dude, not sure what to expect, and gets in the car with you.
Well, Rainier is not the best driver out there. Drive one, so he knows how to use stick, but sometimes it's a little janky.
Okay.
But well,
when we get to the apartment, she's once again, oh, this is nice, cool, and follows you inside. Your apartment is in the basement, and there's other stuff there. Why don't you tell us how your apartment is laid out and your haven?
it's well, first of all, it's pretty big, I'd assume, but there's always at least some people, music running in the background and stuff like that. So it's a bit crowded. Also, you know how it is: loud music, stomping music you only can really tolerate if you're stoned, basically. And on the walls, there's a lot of pictures of snakes. Snakes wearing sunglasses or smoking, or snakes in all kinds of variations. Think these butt ugly Bored Ape NFTs, only snakes.
Are they on digital screens that are like hanging everywhere?
No, they are printed out, and every time Rainier sees them, he laughs. This time too.
Wait, are those the high snake NFTs?
Sure are.
Oh God.
I hate her. I hate her.
Yeah.
I hate her.
Yes.
You've certainly got a lot of them.
Maybe one time I'll tell you the story. It's fucking hilarious. But let's not talk about that. Come on. Can I get you something?
Her eyes go wide. You said you had the good stuff.
Certainly do.
What does Renier consider the good stuff to be drugs-wise?
Normally, it's the kind of stuff that that the person he talks to considers to be the good stuff after he gets to know them for a little bit. In her case, maybe he starts easy off with some weed that's a little bit stronger than the usual stuff you get on the streets, just to see how well she handles that.
Okay. Well enough. How many people are in your herd?
Let's see, not that many. Let me check in the rulebook how many that would entail.
How many dots?
1 dot.
Ooh, I think up to 3 maybe.
Yeah, well, there probably are some more people in there because of his hunter type, of his predator type. But they are not his herd, so they, come and go. And the herd is the hardcore elite of that club, so to speak.
Okay. So there's probably let's say there's six other people in here. 3 of them being
was about to say half a dozen, maybe.
3 of them being your current herd members. A few of them are everyone's kind of got their drug of choice, as it were. And she's enjoying herself, but I think after a while she's looking around. The place is clean enough, but you can tell she's looking for something harder.
Well, in that case, let's ask her what she wants. Renier has most of the stuff, at least he can get it if she wants. So, what are you in for?
What are we laughing about?
Nothing.
Don't worry.
Nothing.
Nothing.
We're having a private conversation. And I'm just...
Well, I mean, we both know
everyone-
what she wants, but she ain't getting that.
Huh? What? I'm confused. Anyway, so she's.
It's fine.
If
don't
you
worry.
ask her, she's
Inez knows me way too well.
Of course I do. God,
Well,
keep going, please.
Jean mentioned that you had some good. I'm trying to decide what street name I want to use for this. Skag, which is a street name for heroin.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
Wow, going up with the strong stuff, eh?
Well, that's why Jean brought me to you in the hopes that we could come to an arrangement.
Well, I ain't giving that away for free. Skag is expensive, especially the stuff I have.
She sits down on like a couch. The rest of the people are around and crosses her legs. She's wearing that very attractive outfit that Inez so graciously provided for us.
hey, you're welcome. You're welcome.
Crosses her legs and sort of leans back and says, "Let's make a deal."
Renier, gestures. Go on.
Well, if I can stay here and partake when I need, there's no reason we can't come to an arrangement. It's not something I commonly do, but I'm at the end of my rope. And you're not a bad-looking guy.
Thanks, but I know I'm fat, but...
You're not a Russian mobster. Let's leave it at that.
I don't speak a word of Russian, I give you that.
And they're a lot fatter. No offense.
Renier, slaps his belly. It's the good life. But let's say, I think we can come to an understanding.
Tosses her curls behind her. I mean, I spent 6 weeks on a yacht in the Adriatic, and that was a lot worse than the place you've got here.
At least you don't get seasick. All right, just let me get the stuff. And Renier goes to his, let's call it private stash, although he never takes that stuff himself. And
We'll
gets us some.
veil the partaking of the drug.
Of course.
My question is, Once she's high, do you take the chance to feed? Do you want to feed while she's high on heroin?
No, actually. Contrary to what most people believe about satellites in general, Renier wants to have a clear head.
Okay.
And heroin really fucks you up.
It does. So, I think there's like a screen swipe as she's sort of laying on one of your couches underneath this picture of a snake in sunglasses, but it's all in like these like trippy tie-dye colors, like a mosaic.
Although, let me revise that. If it's just before Renier would go to bed, then he'd partake of her, because he made a promise to Jean and I have lingering kiss. So, it never hurts.
Well. Let's go ahead and roll that out then. Lingering kiss. So you'll partake a little bit. Just I think you're only at 1 hunger right now anyway.
Exactly, and I don't want to bleed her dry. I just want to, oh god, that sounds so incredibly creepy when I say it, but I want her to be a junkie for Renier, basically.
It does sound creepy, but that's why we've done session zeros and we have all the lines and veils and we trust each other.
That's true, and Renier is an asshole, so he doesn't care.
Yes. So lingering kiss is free. You use it on her. So in the future, you will add dice equal to your presence on any charisma rolls against the bitten subject.
Exactly.
A mortal fed upon can make a willpower test every week to resist the effects. Okay. I'm going to start with the willpower test to resist the effects to see if it'll work on her this week. The problem is she clearly doesn't have much willpower at the moment because her life is low. I'm going to roll 1. If it's a success, she'll block it. It's not a success. So Alicia is affected by your lingering kiss.
Nice. And Renier is high, probably.
Got it. And the camera, as we sort of see him. We see him like descend on her, which also sounds creepy. But I like how creepy it sounds almost a little bit. And this is actually way better than one vampire book I started reading a while back.
There we go.
I stopped in the 3rd chapter. I was like, nope,
Ooh.
no.
Ooh.
So yeah, it was worse than what is happening now. That was worse than what's happening now.
Fascinating.
Yeah, I'll tell you about it off screen.
Okay.
The camera fades to black as we see Renier sort of descending upon her neck, her exposed décolletage.
Ooh la la, décolletage.
Oh my god. C'est français. Donc c'est...
We've got a Frenchman over here.
Everyone is at home. Maxime, you were in your apartment.
Right.
What does your apartment look like?
My apartment is more a library than a living space. There are bookshelves on almost every wall, filled with books and magazines, but also these tubes that hold blueprints and scrolls. There is very mundane literature here, very mundane philosophy and novels. There's on one little table, you see that Franz Kafka's Metamorphosis is flipped open and put down. But there's also books here that are certainly not mundane. There are tomes here that are thickly leather bound, have a certain scent to them. There's signs and runes carved on their covers, and they are kept in shelves behind lock and key. The place itself is not tidy. Maxime claims to everyone that he keeps the place tidy, but he doesn't really. He has a different standard of tidiness. To him, it's tidy if there's only 15 books scattered around the floor. But there's also something that makes it a bit harder here to keep things tidy. because sometimes Maxime is pretty sure that he leaves his apartment and the books are all in the right places. The books are all on the right shelves. And just like tonight, he comes back, opens the door of his apartment, sighs, wanders over to one of the shelves, already looking for a specific tome that's been put on a different shelf. And he's pretty sure he didn't put it there. So he mumbles to himself, "If there is a night where I cannot appreciate your interferences, it is tonight. Haunt me as much as you want tomorrow. Today I need to find my material." And it's just, there's no one there in the room. It's almost as if he just speaks to the air. But eventually he finds the book he's looking for, brings it over to a table, and he's just currently thinking about what's going on. He's still a little bit agitated by the nonchalance of Corentin. He finds it kind of annoying that Corentin isn't making any plans on how to exactly make sure that the gang rolls are not going to be any kind of dangerous factor, but at the same time, he's also kind of annoyed at himself because he doesn't want to see the gang rolls that way. He doesn't want to see them as like a factor he has to take into account. He doesn't want to think in the equation, but he now has a title, he has an office, and it is his duty to think in these equations. And that's kind of a bit of a turmoil for Maxime right now.
Okay. You've been home for about an hour and a half. You left the party a little after midnight. It's now 2 a.m. when your doorbell buzzes.
I put down one of the books I was reading, stow it away safely. I get up, and is it fair to assume that I have like a hole in the door that I can peek through to see who's standing in front of it?
So this would be the door from outside.
Oh, from downstairs, really like
Yes.
outside.
Where you have a camera.
Can I check on the camera who's standing there?
You can. Under a umbrella are two people. One of them is immediately recognizable, a young woman with tan skin and sort of wavy bob of like a dirty blonde, light brown hair, Madeleine. And behind her is an elderly gentleman. White hair, balding, a brown skin, wrinkly, wearing a fairly I was gonna say unremarkable, but yeah, a fairly unremarkable houndstooth suit, which in and of itself is kind of remarkable, but the suit itself looks a little drab, old, vintage, one might say.
I haven't seen that man before.
No. But roll politics and intelligence for me, please. And roll better than you did earlier today.
I'll do my best.
The shade!
The shade coming from this here storyteller. Oh my
Hey.
god. Wow.
That's a lot better.
Yeah.
4 successes.
Yes.
That is the Prince of Ken. Richard Ba.
Why is he here? Why?
I have to buzz them in, right? Like it's,
Yes, you can speak with them also.
Okay. I press the button to speak.
And before you do, the prince says, "Hello. If you would let us in, it is quite wet out here."
Maxime was like about to say something, but then he just presses the button to buzz open the door.
Thank Messi. And Madeline opens the door for him.
Do they find their way up to my place themselves? So you have to
Does
pick them up
Madeline
and-
know? Has she been to your apartment before?
Yes, she has been. Yes.
She can lead him up there.
Yeah. I'll just wait at the door as they come up, and knowing that it's the prince of another domain, I do a curtsy and I let them both in to my apartment.
We are nothing, and you do not need to do that.
I do think that no matter where you are, having decency and etiquette can pay off.
I appreciate the sentiment, of course, but this is an unexpected visit, and we are breaking tower law here, being here without letting Prince Corentin know that we are in Nice.
As he says that, are they already in the apartment?
They're maybe in front of the door, unless they've walked in.
Okay, I would like, the moment he mentions that they're here, that he's here without like informing the prince that he's in the domain of another prince, I would try to make sure that they enter as quickly as possible so I
Okay.
can close the door behind them. So
Yeah, he doesn't seem to care, but it's just kind of like.
yeah, but Maxime cares.
Yes.
So I would like make sure that I usher them in, then close the door behind them, and then say, "You have not informed Corentin of your visit?"
No, my apologies. Of course, but I did not think it would be prudent to tell him about this meeting.
And my apologies, Prince Barret, but I am rather taken aback then by this visit. What can the Sheriff of Nice do for you?
Well, my child here has told me about something unfortunate as it happened in this domain. And Madeline sort of like is wringing her hands.
Did I know that, as in my child, as in child with E at the end?
Madeline, well, she looks at you. I did mention that my sire lives in Cannes.
You did indeed. And
But,
I throw her a quick glance, then look back at the prince. Please, do continue.
And Corentin knows that I am Richard's child, so. But we asked her to sort of not tell people. So it's awkward.
I am still not clear on exactly what it is I can do for you, especially if it is under such unofficial circumstances.
Richard Bar. Which is all, now as I say it, I'm like, why did I pick that name? Because that is like hard to say.
It's the Matt Mercer curse.
He goes and he sits down. What's the best and most obvious looking seat here?
The best looking seat is this large, soft chair, which with a high back, and there's actually in front of it, there's a small ottoman to rest your feet on. But currently you shouldn't put your feet on because there's like 4 books piled on top of the ottoman.
You wouldn't do that anyway.
But the chair itself is like super comfortable. There's a blanket draped over it. There's some pillows on there. It is Maxime's favorite place to sit, and it's also the most comfortable to sit.
Well, he sits right in it.
Perfect.
For a sheriff, you have many books. You read a lot?
Reading, for lack of traveling physically, reading is the best way to travel not just through this world, but also through other worlds. So I feel like I enjoy reading a lot.
Oh shit. Oh shit. 2, 3, 4. At least 5, 6, 7, and probably 8,
What?
9, 10.
Creeper,
Okay.
what are you doing? What
For
are you
what?
doing?
What
What
are
are
you
you doing? Creeper?
Oh,
I guess some of those should have been hunger dice.
Oh, boy.
Oh.
Oh,
no.
no.
Oh no.
Oh shit.
What are you doing?
Oh,
What is
God.
happening?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Could have done better.
Don't kill my sweet Maxine.
He
God.
narrows his eyes and looks at you.
Oh no.
Oh,
Oh
no.
no. Oh no, no, no.
I would like you to roll composure and subterfuge.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm gonna be honest, at first I thought that was in character and he was counting the books or something, and then
At first, yes, and then I heard the dice.
Composure and subterfuge.
Yes.
oh no.
No extra dice. Any higher difficulty or something? I'll just leave
Well,
it at 2.
you have to be 5.
Oh yeah, sure. Why not? Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Nice knowing you.
Remember,
was,
you can willpower if you want
I
to.
can. So, yeah, I think that's what I'm gonna do.
That was not a
Um,
messy critical.
No, it's not a
No,
messy
it
critical,
was
but
not.
there's a 10 on there, and if I re-roll, like, I have 2 already in the pocket.
It's
I
possible.
could re-roll the other 2 and try to see if I can get a critical on that.
Go for it.
So
do it.
Please.
I'm going to spend willpower and
We don't want you to be dominated now. Don't do that.
is there like actually willpower re-roll is a button. I'm going to re-roll 2 of those dice. Nope.
Oh,
Nope.
no.
Nope.
Okay.
It's gonna be
Okay.
fine. Don't worry.
2
It's
successes.
gonna
I
be
get
fine.
3 questions as he reads your aura. So not that big of a deal, but
But
No.
still, not that big of a deal. Excuse me. He's seeing right through him.
Uh-huh.
have you committed diablerie in the last year?
No.
The fact that you had to think worries me.
What is your current emotional state?
Stressed AF.
Nervous, anxious.
And for the third one, something unexpected. Who wants to give me something? Someone else can give me something unexpected that the Prince of Ken learns from from Maxine's aura.
Oh, I hate that. From his aura?
Mhm.
So not necessarily from his mind, just
No.
from the way he carries himself.
Yes.
I know the obvious answer, but
Do it. What is it?
no.
At least,
is it?
at least propose it.
Yeah. Come on.
Well-
Come on.
Let's go.
Well, no, because he's very obviously hiding a secret.
Yes.
Are you hiding something? Was that gonna be the question?
Something like that, yeah.
Hmm.
What are you hiding?
I think that's a very open question,
Yes, it is a very open question.
Okay.
and I
I'm-
hate that.
I'm gonna hold
Apartment
one
is
and leave
haunted.
that unexpected for something else in the
Yeah.
role play.
No, that's a good one. Yeah.
He looks at you. Please, no need to be anxious. Sit, looks around. We can chat. I'm not here to expose you for your grave deed. Because then my child here is also exposed. And Madeline nods. She was a bystander, and the Camarilla would Well, Paris would not be happy that she was even present when such a thing happened.
2 books fall out of the shelf behind me, as if shoved by an invisible hand.
Interesting. Madeline, can you see what is here? No, Richard. I'm sorry. And he smiles. Welcome. Nice to meet you.
Prince Richard, have you come all the way from Cannes to fire accusations at the sheriff of another domain?
No. I've come to extend aid to the Sheriff of Nice.
Aid in what?
In
Are you like the tower in Paris, thinking that Nice requires aid? I am
I'm
glad to
here-
inform you that since my start as a sheriff, there have been exactly 0 masquerade breaches, 0 unwanted or unsanctioned embraces, and generally speaking, Nice is a very great place to be a kindred.
I know. I will point out, Nice's and Cannes are about 30 minutes apart.
I looked it
So-
up before.
Like, that's why the Côte d'Azur with all these princes can be dangerous, because it is very easy and quick for another prince to just show up. Case in point.
If he continues like that, I'm gonna put him 30 minutes apart. But that's
he puts
Perfect.
he puts a hand up. I know you have been doing good, and I'm not there on behalf of Barry, nor on behalf of Lucie Desir. I'm here on behalf of Madeline, who is struggling. It was her first kill. And he smiles like patronizingly.
I apologize that your child had to witness this. It was not planned, and I have been doing my best to make sure that she's as comfortable as possible in Nice. I am sure that she can attest of that.
She nods, and as does he. I would not be here otherwise. Maxime, may I call you Maxime?
Yes.
What is it you need?
What?
A stiff drink.
Facts.
What Nice needs is to be seen by the other domains, not just along the Côte d'Azur, but throughout the nation. That we are strong, independent, and that we do not need any kind of hand-holding. That will be the only way for us to continue our business. If Nice does not stand strong, how long will it take until outside forces cast their gaze upon Cannes or about any of the other Côte d'Azur domains?
That is why the Azure 6, which is what Le Sea des Yeux translates to, if you didn't know, or a noob like me. That is what we do. That is why we have formed our coalition.
And you come under the banner of that coalition, then?
I come as Richard Barr, sire of Madeline, who is in trouble, who is potentially a suspect.
Not
And
as
I'd like to
long
know the
as-
case of your. I'd like to know what is going on in your investigation, because as far as I have heard from Paris, that the new sheriff of Nice is odd on the case of finding the missing rose.
How well can I gauge him that he actually knows what's up? Like,
Make
can I
a-
try to like inside him to see if I notice how much he actually knows?
Insight and wits.
Insight and wits. Alrighty. Wits. Submit. Oh wow. 1, 2, 3, 4 successes.
Hey.
He hears more from Paris than you do, and is telling you things that Corentin does not. Is it because Corentin doesn't care? Is it because Richard is trying to manipulate you? With your success on the politics roll, I will also let you know that as from Richard is one of the few. So all the princes deal with their own stuff. Richard's main thing, being Prince of Cannes, is the film festival. He's a huge movie buff. You also are like putting 2 and 2 together. He's Malkavian, which also doesn't get a lot of respect in the Camarilla. I would say, what was it? 4 successes. 4 successes. You get the sense that this is a play, but it's not trying to come at you and take advantage of you in a way that would harm you. He wants to help. He wants to give you what you need. But what does that mean for what he wants, what he intends to do with Ken, with Nice, with the Côte d'Azur, with Paris? All of that is in the dark. But you see someone here who is earnest in giving you the aid that you need with very few questions asked.
I turn around to the shelf from which both of those books fell, pick them both up. And while I have my back to Madeleine and him, I put the books back and say, strength and unity is what I want. Strength led from the top, and unity under the people in our domain.
That's nice. What do you need?
I turn around. I look at Madeleine. I look away. I need a scapegoat.
He sort of sucks his teeth. And a scapegoat we will find.
You're of the clan of seers, aren't you? Oracles.
He barely nods, just like a very Mona Lisa smile.
My sire has a lot of respect for your line. There is a... We Tremere believe that we can find all the knowledge in the world. But it is the Malkavians that connect the dots.
Doesn't say anything.
But I can connect the dot that if you can give us a scapegoat, you want something in return.
He thinks, as if he hadn't thought of asking for something in return. Nods. Yeah, that makes sense. For now, we find you a scapegoat. Did you have anyone in mind, or shall I pick something?
It must be convincing. It must be... People must go and think, oh yes, of course, it was them who did that.
I did not. I did not meet this Roz. I could ask in Rome what they think they
N-
thought of her. Paris
No,
has already made those
no,
inquisitions.
too far away. What do you know of Corentin?
Corentin is an impetuous whelp, but does a good job
But
of ruling. An impetuous whelp, he said,
a good job?
but he does a good job of ruling a city where fat families come and sit on the beach.
Ross came here because his strength was doubted.
Is is not the only one that is doubted by Paris in the moment. It's just the most obvious target. We're all at risk.
How's your relationship with Corentin?
There's a reason I'm here talking to you now, and not to her.
I understand.
But if we're talking princes and inquisitions,
Are we talking inquisitions?
we might be. As if,
What?
again, he hadn't thought about that. Dots are connecting in his brain. Spend enough time with Malkavian over a certain age and this starts to become normal. Or average, at the very least. I understand something is happening in Monaco. Perhaps a visit is due.
While I would also enjoy to join you to beautiful city of Monaco, I think we have troubles that are more closer at home. You want me to pick a scapegoat?
Let me know and I will back it as much as I can. And he sort of stands. There's no need to rush. I assume you have time.
Is there no need to rush? Is there no need, considering that Paris is awaiting the completion of the investigation?
And with the backing of the sea, they will accept whatever your report finds. I promise.
While he's getting up, I look at Madeline. And then I look back at him.
She smiles. He nods.
Give me Corentin.
Huh? What?
Scapegoat. You said you wanted me to pick a scapegoat?
He frowns. And who would step into his place?
Someone who might care more for the actual well-being of Nice. Someone who does not just linger on their boat.
Corentin has ruled for decades, and creating a power vacuum of that level.
And what... how far did that exactly bring him? A harpy from Paris, ending up dead in his city. Do you want them also to come to Cannes? Or do
Roll
you want...
persuasion. And manipulation.
Manipulation. Oh. Let's go.
Oh, I'm so sorry. You suck at this.
Oh, it's no more. It's no worry.
Wow.
I'm gonna spend a willpower. I wanna re-roll the 2 failures.
Roll the 1. The bottom 2 are hunger. Or?
Oh, I can't exactly. I cannot re-roll hunger. That's
You need
true.
1 more success, or this is a bestial failure. You could re-roll the
Oh.
non-hunger die, but that's it.
Oh. Okay, I'm gonna re-roll that. Let's go.
Okay, you got 1 success.
Lucky.
As you're trying to,
I actually have 2 successes. There was 1 success on the hunger die, and then 1 success on the one that I re-rolled. So it's 2 successes.
then why was it a bestial failure?
Because roll 20 is weird.
Roll 20. Okay, you got 2
But
successes.
it didn't fix the bug after all. I thought
Okay.
that.
Okay, because it's only bestial failure if you get the 1 on a hunger die and no successes.
Exactly. Yes.
There's still a hunger in your voice
Mm-hmm.
as you're trying to persuade him. You go too far.
I am talking with a prince from a different domain who came here unannounced to the other prince. Are you teaching me on borders? On lines that should not be crossed?
You don't know what will happen if Corentin is taken in. Who
I
will
don't.
rule in their stead.
We'll find a suitable replacement. I promise you that.
You feel like he doesn't breathe, but he closes his eyes and the frown leaves his face. He smiles once more. I hope that things work out well for all of us. Keep in touch. My offer to help you still stands despite your greed. He nods. Good evening.
Good evening.
Bonsoir.
I gracefully open the door for them. Does Madeline leave as well?
Yes. She's like, sorry.
See you tomorrow, Madeline.
Dway. She just nods and hurries after her sire. And as the glass elevator picks up and goes down, the camera zooms out over the city of the now rain-drenched city of Nice. We come to the end of our first episode.
Marcus, I love you so much.
That was pretty cool.
You
Look,
are
I mean,
insane in the
we-
best way possible.
We gotta keep him coming back for more. So
Let me take off my glasses.
Wow.
oh,
I wear my sunglasses at night.
Wow.
bets are open for if Maxime makes us to the end of this chapter. Taking bets now.
I would not take that bet.
It could go both ways.
Oh my god.
Oh.
And that,
Okay.
everyone, is how you do a first episode of Vampire the Masquerade.
Yeah, baby. Let's go ahead and do plugs, everyone. Starting with Marcus. You dog you.
Yeah.
Well,
Moon Slider.
hello and howdy, everyone. I'm Marcus, online known as the Individual, and when I'm not trying to stage coups in Krifu's vampire game, I am actually running on Horde of Tales and a weekly Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition game set in Eberron called Convergence Manifesto. You can catch us every Tuesday at 8 GMT plus 1. We are currently pretty much at the start of the 6th chapter of the campaign, and if you love cool, pulpy, steampunk fantasy, you should definitely come check us out at twitch.tv/Horde of Tales. And if you just want to check out what I'm up to, you can find me on Twitter at the Individual, where you can find me, post my opinions about TTRPGs, and share cat pictures. And you can, of course, also find me here in this fantastic group. I want to thank my fellow players and Krifu again for running, and I'm looking forward to the next session. Thank you very much for having me.
Give it up for Marcus, everyone. God damn. Jesus Christ.
Give it up for Marcus too, because he is producing the stream tonight, and
Yes.
so all of the awesome changes you've seen to group shots to duets, he's managing all of that. So, yeah, well done.
Yes.
Enjoying doing it. Thank you very
Thank-
much.
Yeah.
Anya.
Yes, I'm Anya, Lalion Cosplay. I'm Lalion Cosplay everywhere. Recently, I published my first solo TTRPG called Mountaintop Isolation. It's a retro alone game, and it is on my itch.io. I post about it all the time on Twitter and stuff. You'll find it there. Anyway, that's me.
Awesome.
Awesome.
Henrik.
Hi, I'm Henrik, also known as Der Weltenweber. You can find me on Twitter at Der Weltenweber. Most of my stuff is in German, sadly, but I am a pro GM, so if you ever need a GM for pretty much anything, give me a shot. That's it from me.
Inez.
Hi. I'm still kind of in shock. Everyone needs to calm down, okay? Everyone needs to calm that fuck down, okay? God.
What are you doing when you don't flirt with me in character?
That's what I'm doing. I'm hyperventilating for everything that's happening in this goddamn game. Anyway, wow, amazing. Hi everyone. It's me, your friend Inez. You can find me everywhere on the internet at xxsuccubusgfxx. Twitter and TikTok are the most active. TikTok, I've been having a lot of fun with TikTok these days, posting a lot of good content on there. So if you want to see me working fiercely, you can find me there. Twitter is where I post most of the going live stuff. And I can tell that Monday I'm back here on Manapot. No, I'm not. That's not true. We're not. We're not. There's something else.
Like, no,
There's
no,
something
you're not.
else. There's something else though that's really cool. So go check it out on Monday. I don't know what it is, but it's very cool.
More
so-
space flicks and kill.
More, yes, okay. And on Wednesday, I'll be on Lightfoot Rogue, the Twitch channel, where I also play Vampire the Masquerade. And it's gonna be very cool, and we're gonna have a lot of fun over there. I don't know what characters I'm playing, but they're gonna be very cool. So yeah, I'm very excited about that. I'm here, and yeah, come find my face. I love you so much.
Yeah.
Awesome. I have been your storyteller this evening. My name is Crifu Bernal. You can find me on Twitter and Instagram at Crifu Bernal. One of these days I'll go over to Hive and get that going too. I feel like it's important. I will be back. I should be back here on Monday with some Space Flicks and Kill, where I'll be playing my Verthani cyberborn soldier who's all about getting that chrome mama. Nikon. And then after that, we'll be back. We might be back in 2 weeks. We should be back in 2
I will
weeks.
not be here in 2 weeks because I will be at KatsuCon in DC.
That's
we
okay.
So if
go.
you're going to that, come hang out with me.
I need to talk to the group about scheduling.
Yes.
'Cause that
We
is
should also talk about Roll Initiative Con, right?
Roll Initiative Con.
yeah.
Well, most, if not all of us. All of us?
I'm gonna be there.
Probably.
All of us will be at Roll Initiative Con on April 15th
Yes.
in the Netherlands.
Yes.
It'll be the first time we're all like meeting in person.
Yeah.
It'll be very
That's gonna be so cool. Oh my
Mhm.
god.
Yeah.
cool. We're trying to get some other folks to also come. So we'll see what happens. Maybe our British friends can jump on a boat.
Hell yeah. So if you're there
Hint, hint,
and you want to
hint,
see
hint.
us, then come on.
I know that Inez and I are gonna be playing in Marcus's game.
Absolutely, we are.
Mhm.
I'm playing in Ida's game,
Okay.
Ooh,
Monster of the Week. So it should be pretty great.
nice.
But make sure you follow Manapod on Twitter. It's where all of our go lives go live. Make sure you follow Manapod here, join our Discord, subscribe to the YouTube. There's a lot of great shows on Manapod that straddle the coasts, the ocean, as it were. So if you're in the US, there will be shows at around 8 p.m. Eastern time that happen as well. You can check the calendar and the link down below. And just keep an eye out for the awesome, great stuff we have. I have not been able to find someone to raid. This isn't a usual stream time for me, but it is becoming one. So we will find future raid buddies in future streams. But until then, everyone, we wish you a wonderful evening,
Yeah, no one's
and we hope
online.
to see you on the next episode of Study in Ivory.
Goodbye. We love you
Love.
so
Bye-bye.
much. Take care.
Bye.